What is up, YouTube? It's Jay Coffee back at it, man. And quite the story has been going on in Pennsylvania, man. Prison break, PA. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, man, but I don't think this is going to end well. Not trying to sound dramatic, just keeping it real. This guy literally has nothing to lose, man. 5 foot tall, $120, killed his ex-girlfriend in front of their kids. Her kids. I don't believe they were his kids also. It was just his girl who had kids prior to being with him. I could be wrong about that, but a couple years ago, got convicted, hit with life, no parole, and just hitting the news now. There's a lot going on, where they're saying the jail flucked up and, was covering things up as this is going on a couple weeks of this guy being on the run. And it seemed like they were withholding information, to clean up their side of things and make them not look really bad. While in the meantime, this cold-blooded murderous killer also wanted for a homicide in Brazil, where he's from, escaped, right? And is on the run. They don't really let the public know. And then when they start letting it come out, we're hearing an update today, just that some guy in the local area came out, find this guy stealing a shotgun. I don't know if it was in his home or in his garage or something like that, somewhere in his dwelling. Shot at the guy with a pistol and missed, and the guy got away. So now we know this crazy, murderous, homicidal maniac with nothing to lose is armed with a shotgun, running around 2 weeks on the run. It gets crazy, man. Check out this news update. We're going to break this down more, man. This prison is looking really bad, very negligent. There's much more to it.
Unbelievable new surveillance video captures the escape of a killer from a Pennsylvania prison. Take a look at this. That is Danelo Cavalcante. Watch here as he crab walks his way up and over these 2 prison walls. It took him just seconds. He then makes it through barbed wire and he's gone. Authorities now confirm a whole hour passed before anyone sounded the alarm. Cavalcante remains on the run this morning, and the search for him is now entering week 2. NBC News correspondent George Solis joins us from Chester County, Pennsylvania. This escape appeared to happen remarkably fast, George. By our count, it took just 5 seconds for him to creep up those walls. How's the prison defending that it took about an hour before anyone even noticed?
Yeah, Anna, that video is certainly remarkable to watch. And one thing that is important to note, the officials yesterday during that news conference said there was a guard in that security tower during the time of this escape. That guard has now been placed on administrative leave. And obviously, there's video, right? That means there was cameras there. There was someone watching those monitors, and they said they likely just missed it because of how fast Cavalcante was able to scale up that wall, crab walking as they describe it, and bypass that razor wire. Now, let's look at this timeline here, because it's very critical to understand how this all sort of played out. Officials saying that at 8:33, that's when Cavalcante entered this exercise yard, and then at 8:51, he escaped. By 9:45, the officers flagged that he was missing, and they did a recount. 9:50, the prison was locked down, and at 10:01, that's when that escape alarm sounded that he was missing. So, right, almost basically an hour before they realized he was gone. So there's a lot of questions here about how this all played out. We pressed officials yesterday why it took them so long to release this video. They obviously had this in hand, and they said this was now part of the state attorney general's office investigation. So they are running this in tandem. Meanwhile, the manhunt for him, as you said, now entering week 2, Anna.
And so prison officials are also defending the security there at the prison, even after we learned there was another escape just a few months ago. What are they saying?
Yeah, that's right. That's why that razor wire was there. This was the exact place where another inmate, Igor Bolt, escaped from. So they brought in consultants. They said, we need to put razor wire here. And somehow Cavalcante was able to bypass that. So now the new plan is to basically close off this entire exercise area, a cage, as they described it. And here's how the acting warden described the failure of security.
We did have a consulting firm come out, identify how the individual escaped, and we thought we took appropriate measures to prevent that with the razor wire. Again, the one thing we didn't take into account was a failure on the human element side. We only focused on the physical infrastructure and not necessarily the human element.
right? So as I mentioned, now that they're looking at putting this entire exercise yard in a cage, they're going to have more personnel looking at those cameras, and they said they're physically going to have officers there in that rec area now monitoring how the inmates are behaving. They really know that they have to ramp up security to prevent this from happening, because again, now we know this is the second prison escape in just a few months. Meanwhile, this community on it remains on edge, wondering if this guy's ever going to get caught.
So can you believe that, man? This guy, some are calling it crab walk, shimmied his ass right up this wall or like doorway. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it in the prison yard, okay? And the crazy thing, you heard him talking about this, someone else did this not that long ago. So they said, okay, well, we've rectified the situation. We put barbed wire there now. Well, this guy, I don't know, doesn't look like he had a blanket or any, like, you know, we see him just, I still can't believe this guy's 5 foot, $120, damn near a midget. He must be pretty fit too. It kind of reminds me, you guys remember a while back when in every movie there was an action sequence with a bad guy on the run or getting away. He was a master of parkour. He could jump from building to building. He could do some stuff like this. I swear, this guy, you know, I don't know. It just kind of took me back to all that, those movies. Like, what did this guy do? Parkour in his spare time? But you don't see that he had anything on him. So I'm guessing maybe he just threw his shirt over the barbed wire and you know, did what he had to do and got up out of there. And then it took them an hour to realize this guy is gone. And he's been just on the run in the local area, from my understanding, because where this incident just went down with the shotgun, I don't think is too far away. And like I said, this prison's looking so bad, you know. Oh, we added barbed wire. Someone escaped recently. Now this guy escaped. Now they're just talking about enclosing the whole area. You think? You know, I mean, this is just a county jail. And, you know, that's what's crazy about county jail. There could be people in there for some unpaid fines, or there could people be in there facing murder charges, or people who have been convicted and sentenced like this guy, hit with life with no parole. You know, it's crazy in the county jail. You never know who's going to be there, but this jail is just looking real bad. Couple inmates escaped in the course of a couple months. In this situation, you heard there was a guard supposed to be watching. He wasn't watching, right? Because how the fuck did he not notice this guy getting away, especially when someone's already done it at this place? And then they've withhold information. This video is just hitting, you know, the world and the blogosphere and stuff like that. And it's like, they're trying to play damage control and protect themselves. Meanwhile, there literally is a maniac on the loose who will kill, has killed. You know, that's some cold-blooded ish to kill someone in front of their kids, man. You know, like when you hear of prison escapes and people locked up, sometimes you're like, maybe that, you know, people, not everyone who goes to jail is always the worst person. But this guy is bad news, man.
Now, so Dwayne, what's the first thing you'd be doing in this situation?
Well, that was new information to me that they just spotted him. So I would be, of course, using a bloodhound to track him. Unless it rains, a bloodhound's going to catch him. They can go up to 5 days, I think the record is, before they catch him. His size, you know, Charles Manson was 5'2" and hid in milk boxes. So this guy's 5 foot. So he can hide anywhere, but the bloodhound is going to smell him out. I own one for 8 years.
This cracked me the fuck up. Not a funny situation at all, but dog, the bounty hunter's old racist ass, man. Every time something jumps off, you know, he's got to try to get his 15 minutes back in the limelight. You know, he wants a new show or something like that. Or maybe does he still have one? I don't know. He just seems thirsty McGirsty to me. If you guys remember when the Gabby Petito stuff was going on, dog was all in the mix, trying to get every bit of, you know, opportunity to get some shine in the news that he could. But he said he could hide in mailboxes. Charles Manson was 5'2" and did it. This guy's 5 foot. And, you know, the bloodhounds will get him. And listen, I'm sure the feds and the authorities probably have bloodhounds and all that, you know, like, dog, I don't think you're bringing anything extra to the table. Serious comment if you're a fan of Dog at all with his old racist bum ass. I used to really fuck with Dog, you know, Leland, the whole crew. I used to watch the show. You know, he started trying to preach to everyone like you got to get off that ice, bruh. But I don't know. He's a cornball to me these days. That's a whole nother video. But man, a serious situation out there in Pennsylvania. I'm shocked that the authorities haven't found him once again, because I believe he's still kind of in the area. Not trying to be negative, but I do not think this is going to end well with this homicide maniac on the loose. Danelo Cavalcante. Comment, let me know what you think about all this. Stay tuned for updates in this jail. Really is looking bad. Like, if anything else happens, you know, to any citizens or something like that, it's on them. Chester County Jail, Chester County Prison. I believe in Pennsylvania. I lived there for a summer. They call their county jails prisons, because I lived in Lancaster County, and I remember all the locals referring to it as LCP, Lancaster County Prison. But they should have definitely put more work into making sure that that area was secure. 2 guys escaping in a short time. Once again, I just can't believe it. And then the guard not paying attention when people have already broke out that way. I mean, you see the video, it just seems mind-boggling that it's that simple to bust a move and you're out of there free. And now he's got a gun. So comment, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.